Welcome to the deep dive. Today, well, we're taking a bit of a different path to looking at longevity.
That's right.
We're going to sidestep, all the usual talk about perfect diets and hitting the gym 5 times a week.
Mhm.
Instead, we've got this really fascinating source material that focuses on unexpected signs of a long, healthy life, especially once you're past 60.
Yeah, and the premise is quite interesting. It's set up almost like a quick check-in sort of a game.
A game? How so?
Well, the source lays out 7 specific kind of everyday abilities, things that don't really involve, how much you can lift or what your cholesterol numbers are.
Yeah.
And the claim is pretty straightforward. If you can still do at least 5 of these 7 things, you're supposedly on a really solid track, not just for living longer, but actually thriving.
I like that. It feels different. It's not about just biological stats. It's about how you're still engaging with life, right?
Right.
Actively.
Exactly. Active engagement. So our mission today is basically to unpack these 7 signs. We want to figure out why these seemingly small, maybe even trivial, daily actions could be such strong indicators
Indicators of what exactly?
of overall wellness.
Yeah.
Things like mental sharpness, your social health, and just basic functional mobility.
Gotcha. So how are we breaking this down?
We've grouped them into 2 main categories to make it clearer. First, we'll tackle what the source calls the sharpness indicators, so basically signs of mental and emotional agility.
Okay.
And then we'll move on to the second group, which covers physical mobility and, crucially, social connection.
All right, let's dive in. Sharpness indicators first. What's ability number 1?
Okay. Ability number 1 tests your immediate problem-solving skills. It's finding lost items quickly.
The classic where are my keys moment. Or
Wow.
phone or glasses.
Precisely. Those essential things. And the specific measure here is finding them in under 5 minutes.
Under 5 minutes. Why is that the magic number?
Well, what's interesting isn't that you lose things because, let's be honest, everyone does.
Tell me about it.
It's about how efficiently you find them again. That 5-minute window, it suggests your brain can still do that focused search effectively. Pattern recognition, retracing steps logically.
Instead of just panicking and looking in the same place 10 times.
Exactly. Quick recovery suggests your executive function is, well, still in good shape, sharp.
But hang on, the source mentioned a fix for this, right? The one-spot rule. Always putting your keys in the same bowl by the door.
Ah, yes.
If you do that, are you kind of cheating the test? Does that mean you're not using that cognitive skill?
That's a really good question. It forces us to think about strategy versus function. The one-spot rule is smart, it's efficient, good habit.
Right.
But the predictive power here really comes into play when life doesn't follow the routine. Say you put your keys in a coat pocket by mistake.
Okay.
Your brain still needs to kick in with that rapid spatial problem solving to locate them quickly. A healthy brain is resilient. It can handle those curveballs.
I see. So it's about how you recover when the system breaks down. Makes sense. Okay, what's ability number 2?
This one moves into emotional territory.
Yeah.
It's handling conflict gracefully.
Ooh, okay. Define gracefully.
It means dealing with those everyday annoyances, maybe a rude neighbor, or that relative who always pushes your buttons, or even just someone being difficult in the checkout line.
Right.
The challenge is to manage that stress without, as the source puts it, exploding
Yeah.
or completely losing your cool.
Uh-huh. This sounds less like a longevity predictor and more like a requirement for modern life. Why is keeping calm linked to living longer?
Because unchecked stress is just corrosive. It really is.
Mm.
If minor conflicts constantly send you into a rage, you're flooding your system with cortisol and adrenaline all day long, potentially.
And that adds up.
It absolutely adds up. Chronic stress like that is known to accelerate heart disease, cause inflammation throughout the body. So being able to handle things calmly, it's like a protective shield for your heart, your immune system. Less wear and tear.
The source had that great little mantra for this too, didn't it?
It did. For when you feel that anger rising, you're supposed to tell yourself, this is not my circus and they are not my monkeys.
I love that. It's about instantly creating distance, isn't it?
Exactly. It's a cognitive trick to just detach emotionally. Remind yourself their drama doesn't have to become your physical stress. That mental reframing, that's a vital skill.
Okay, vital skill noted. What's number 3?
Number 3 shifts back towards social interaction, but with a twist. Making a stranger laugh.
Making a stranger laugh, like telling a knock-knock joke to the barista.
Huh. Maybe not quite like that, but yeah, essentially cracking a light joke or offering a genuinely funny compliment to someone you don't know, the cashier, someone in line with you, maybe a waiter.
Why is that on the list?
The source suggests it's powerful for a couple of reasons. First, it takes quick thinking, right? Mental agility again. You have to read the situation and come up with something funny and appropriate on the spot.
True.
But maybe even more importantly, it shows social confidence.
Ah, okay. You wouldn't do it if you were feeling really withdrawn or anxious.
Precisely. If you're feeling shy or low, you're probably not going to risk engaging a stranger with humor. So being able to do this shows a certain vitality. It means you feel comfortable enough in yourself to reach out positively to the world. That's key for long-term well-being.
Interesting connection. Okay, and the last one in this sharpness section, ability 4.
This one sounds quite specific, almost nostalgic. Remembering historical prices.
Historical prices, like how much gas cost when I first started driving, or a loaf of bread back in the 80s.
Exactly, that kind of thing. Being able to recall those specific costs from way back when.
So, is this just saying having a good memory is good? Because that feels a bit obvious.
It's a bit more nuanced than just general memory. We have different kinds of long-term memory. There's semantic memory, like knowing generally that bread costs more now than it used to.
Yeah.
But this test taps into your episodic memory. That's the memory tied to specific events, times, and places in your own life. Remembering the exact price of gas the day you got your license requires accessing that specific personal moment.
I see. It's the detail.
Yes, the detail. Being able to retrieve those small, specific, context-rich memories suggests your brain is still actively maintaining and accessing really complex neural pathways. Holding on to those personal details is a good sign against cognitive decline, which often starts with losing specifics.
Okay, that's fascinating. So those are our 4 sharpness indicators. Finding lost stuff quickly, handling conflict smoothly, making a stranger chuckle, and remembering those old price tags.
That's the mental and emotional agility part.
Great. Now let's shift gears. What about the physical and social side of things?
Right. Let's move into physical mobility and social connectivity. Ability number 5 is moving to music.
Okay, dancing. Does this mean I need to be ready for Strictly Come Dancing?
Definitely not. The source is clear on this. No breakdancing required. It just means still being able to respond physically to music, even if it's just, quote, a little shoulder wiggle, or tapping your foot, maybe moving your hips a bit.
So just feeling the rhythm and letting your body react naturally.
Exactly. And the research behind dancing and longevity is actually pretty compelling. It's like a full body and brain workout, but it feels like fun.
How so? More than just, say, walking.
Because dancing demands coordination. You're synchronizing your body's movements. That's your cerebellum working with the rhythm you hear, auditory processing, and often memory too, if you know certain steps or just how you like to move.
So multiple parts of the brain are firing and talking to each other all at once.
That's it. That cross-brain communication is great for brain health. It improves balance, boosts your mood. People who keep doing this tend to have better spatial awareness, which also means a lower risk of falls. They're constantly tuning up their body's ability for complex movement.
Lower risk of falls. That sounds important. Which leads us nicely into ability number 6, maybe the most physical one, the sit-to-stand test.
Yes, this is a big one for functional mobility. Basically, can you get up from sitting on the floor, maybe after playing with grandkids or a pet?
Without what? What are the failure points?
Without a major struggle, without needing to grab onto, say, 3 different pieces of furniture for support. Or, as the source wonderfully puts it, without making a series of dramatic sound effects.
I know exactly what they mean. We've all heard those. But why is getting up off the floor such a key indicator? Is it just leg strength?
It's much more than just legs. It's really a whole body assessment. It measures your core strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination all together.
Ah, okay.
And the source points to studies directly linking this ability to survival rates. People who can go from sitting on the floor to standing without using their hands at all show a really high level of musculoskeletal health.
Without using hands. That's tough. I know people who are quite fit, maybe they run marathons, but struggle with that specific movement because of hip flexibility or core strength.
Exactly. And that's why this test might be more predictive of functional longevity than, say, running endurance. Because it directly relates to your ability to recover from a fall, which is a major risk for older adults.
If you fall and can't get up.
That's a critical situation. Running is great for cardio, but this tests the functional strength needed for independence and injury prevention. The source actually suggests practicing it. Just sit on the floor once a day and work on getting up using less and less support.
That's really practical advice. Okay, that brings us to the final ability, number 7. And you said this one was maybe the most important.
Yes, the source really flags this one. Making new friends.
Making new friends as you get older.
Yes. Maintaining the ability to connect with new people, build relationships, stay social. especially as, life changes. Maybe old friends move away or pass on, family gets busy with their own lives.
And why is this considered so critical?
This is where the source gets really emphatic. It identifies loneliness as potentially one of the biggest hidden killers for older adults.
Hidden killer. That sounds dramatic.
It is, and the comparison they make is stark. Loneliness is framed as being potentially more dangerous than smoking a pack a day and more harmful than a really poor diet.
Wow, that's genuinely shocking. We hear nonstop about smoking and diet, but social isolation is put on that level. How does loneliness physically harm you?
Think of loneliness as a chronic stressor. When we feel isolated, our body perceives a threat, almost like we're vulnerable. This can trigger a low-level but constant fight-or-flight response,
Leading to?
constantly elevated cortisol, chronic inflammation throughout the body, and over time, that inflammation just damages tissues, harms arteries, weakens the immune system.
So it's not just feeling sad or bored, it's an actual physiological attack on the body driven by lack of connection.
That's the argument, yes. So the ability to keep making connections, striking up conversations, joining a club, even just chatting regularly with neighbors, it's vital. These connections act like psychological anchors. They help stabilize your immune system, reduce those harmful stress hormones.
So social connection is like medicine.
In a way, yes. It's presented as almost a pharmaceutical-grade intervention for aging well. Staying connected literally helps keep your body functioning better.
Okay, if the source ranks social health potentially above quitting smoking or perfecting your diet, that really tells you something about where to focus your energy.
It really does. It underlines that longevity isn't just about discipline and restriction. It's about active, ongoing engagement with the world, mentally, physically, and socially.
Right. Okay, this has been fascinating. Let's do a quick recap of the 7 abilities so everyone listening can maybe do a quick mental tally. Remember, the game was to see if you can confidently say yes to at least 5.
Okay, the 7 real-life abilities are:
Number 1, finding those lost keys or phone in under 5 minutes. 2, handling difficult people without losing your cool. Keeping it graceful.
3, making a stranger laugh, showing that quick wit and social confidence. 4, remembering specific old prices, that detailed episodic memory test.
5, moving to music, even if it's just a little wiggle or foot tap. That tests coordination and balance.
6, the big one, getting up from the floor without a major struggle or needing to use your hands for support.
And number 7, arguably the most crucial according to the source, making and keeping new friends, actively combating social isolation.
So how did you do? Did you hit the 5 out of 7 mark?
Whether you did or not, I think the main takeaway here is pretty clear, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's that longevity isn't something that just happens to you passively. It seems to be earned through staying actively involved, mentally sharp, emotionally resilient, physically capable, and socially connected.
You're only as old as your active engagement with the world lets you be.
Well put.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's circle back one last time to that really striking claim. That loneliness could be more dangerous than smoking or a bad diet.
Yeah, that one really sticks with you.
It does. And it leaves us with a final thought for you to consider. If social health really is that powerful, what's one single, small, maybe even tiny social step you could take today? Not a huge commitment, just something small, like actually chatting with your neighbor for 5 minutes instead of just waving.
Or giving a genuine compliment to someone at work or the store.
Or making a bit of friendly small talk with the cashier. What tiny action will you commit to trying?
Because based on what we've discussed, that small act of connection, it might just be one of the best investments you can make in your own long-term health.